guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Harang Choi and I'm a recent graduate of Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health. And as many of you know, I've been quite busy studying and preparing for the Step 1 exam, so I haven't been posting much. But this news on the Step 2 CS exam, which was announced by USMLE 2 days ago, is a very important one, so I decided to make a video on it. So this video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part is going to be the update that the USMLE.org announced, and the second part is going to be a comment from myself on the changes they have made. So let's begin. So as a basic introduction, many of you know that Step 2 CS exam has been suspended last March 2020. And they have suspended it for 18 months until next year, June 2021. And on the podcast they released 2 days ago, they mentioned that the decision to suspend the Step 2 CS exam was a precautionary step to protect the health of both the examinees and the staff, which is amazing, which is great. And they also announced that what hasn't changed is their commitment to a valid standardized assessment of clinical skills, which is highly valued by the state medical boards. And they stated that over the summer, what they've done is use the time to gather fresh input from a wide range of stakeholders. So they did a lot of focus group discussions and surveys for initial feedback. And with the feedback they received, they came up with a two-pronged strategy for the CS assessment. And so the two-pronged strategies are, one, a short-term change and a long-term change. So the immediate priority they have, the short-term goal they have, is to relaunch the modified Step 2 CS exam as soon as possible. And then the long-term strategy, which is the second one, is to continue to enhance the clinical skills assessment. And so their aim is to retain what's considered valuable and address the concerns that are present. And so based on the feedbacks they gathered, they identified 4 different challenges or 4 different problems, and these are the following. So the first one is the limited number of test sites. As all of you know, Step 2 CS exam was only given at 6 different sites in the United States and not anywhere else in the world. And the second problem they identified was that examinees had to travel away from home, especially for foreign medical graduates like ourselves. We had to travel away from home to take the exam. And the third problem they identified was the cost of the exam, which was extremely expensive. And the fourth problem identified was the perception of the artificial nature of the standardized patient interaction during the exam. And so based on these problems identified, they came up with changes in the things that they decided to not change. And so let's start with the things that are not changing, which is how they explain in their podcast. So what's not changing is that the exam will continue to be focused on assessing US and foreign trained physicians entering supervised practice. So they're saying that it's gonna continue to assess the sub-competencies within USMLE physician task and patient care. And then what's changing, this is the significant part, what's changing is that the modified assessment will be delivered through remote online delivery platform, with examinees interacting with standardized patients over a video. And they're designed to do this because this will provide a safe and convenient platform that promotes both examinee and staff safety, which was a problem, right? So this platform will eliminate the person-to-person contact that was the problem because of the pandemic, right? And in terms of the timeline, they're currently going through, since they gathered feedback, right now they're doing design work. They're busy with design work, so they're not ready to announce the implementation date yet. And they're also sensitive to external considerations such as the impact on residency match timeline, school curricula calendars, policy changes in effect for Step 3 and ECFMG certification. And so they stated that they want to relaunch at a time that balances all of these factors. So I guess they're going to try to make it work for everyone. So that's great. And the host of the podcast also questioned the need for the Step 2 CS exam, because back in the days, the Step 2 CS exam did not exist, and a lot of people wanted it gone. And so I think that was the main point of questioning this. So what is discussion on the continued need for the exam, and if so, what are the important competencies that should be assessed? And in response to this question, they answered that there was a broad agreement among all stakeholders that this type of assessment is relevant and important, and that's the reason why they're bringing the Step 2 CS back. And the competencies that should be assessed, they stated that it just focuses on key priorities focused on the basics, like the fundamentals, and they broke it down into 3 competencies, and it's really basic. Like the first one is, can an examinee conduct an effective clinical interview? Can they obtain the right information? And then the second question is, can they communicate that information effectively to a patient or other member of the healthcare system? And the third question is, can they reason effectively so that they are able to make the most appropriate steps in patient care? So in summary, basically the competencies you need to have, or what the exam is assessing, is obtaining the right information, communicating effectively, and reasoning effectively with the information you obtained. So as a conclusion, they stated that they are committed to providing updates to examinees and stakeholders as meaningful information becomes available, and they will provide the information by early 2021. So we should stay tuned and for the announcements that they will bring. And they also stated that ECFMG will also provide more information on the ECFMG certification, because that's also changing because the exams are changing, and so we have to stay tuned for the updates. So that's the update on the Step 2 CS exam. And now let's start with the second part of my video, which is my response. My initial response to this update was great. I was like, oh my gosh, the Step 2 CS exam is gonna come back. It's gonna be great, and it's gonna be online, which is great because I don't have to travel. I'm gonna save money. But upon further searching and analyzing and seeing people's responses on Twitter and Reddit and in a lot of places, I realized that people are actually angry that they are bringing back Step 2 CS exam when in fact the American Medical Association stated that they don't see the necessity of the exam. They will be sufficed with the each medical school's exam on the clinical assessment, and it's not necessary to bring back the Step 2 CS exam, but they are still bringing it back. Well, the USMLE and along with NBME are bringing back the exam, and so people are actually angry. They're saying that they're just doing this to make money and it's expensive, and they're also saying that what's the use of, when you're trying to assess how good a person is when they interact with a patient, how are you gonna assess them better by making it online? Which makes total sense, right? So I realized that for international medical graduates or foreign medical graduates like ourselves, it's a good news that it's gonna be online, because it means we will be saving money and money for travel and board, like when we go to take the exam, and it's gonna be more convenient for us. But I also realized that for other people, it can be frustrating and anger-provoking, I guess, seeing the motive, how they see as it trying to be something that's for making money, I guess. Well, I don't know what their real motive is, but I guess for me, it's gonna work. So that's my feedback on the Step 2 CS exam. I am happy that it's back because I don't qualify for any of the alternative pathways that the ECFMG provided in exchange for the Step 2 CS exam. So it's a good news for me, but I know that people may be frustrated because of all these other factors that may have caused them to change the exam in such a way. So that's all for today's video. I hope this video was helpful. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you want to listen to the podcast yourself, go to the USMLE.org and click to their announcement on this topic. So I hope you all the best in your journey, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.